Hello and welcome everyone to the mock test of the Staff Selection Commission CGL level mock test, and we are in the section which is called fill in the blanks. So it's a sentence which is given and there is a gap, a space in the sentence, and along with that options are given, and we have to pick the right option which is going to make the sentence meaningful and complete. So let's get started with fill in the blanks. Right away we say start. And we come to the first one, question number 1, which tells us, fortune dashed him very often, such was his ill luck. And the options given are grinned at, imposed on, eluded, and grasped at. So the proper answer over here is, in fact, the third option, which says eluded. Eluded means going away from someone, and you cannot find it easily. That is eluded. So fortune is not finding that person very easily. So we go ahead and click option C, say option C, and we move on to the next one. So coming to our next question, number 2, it says his dash gambling will ruin him, and the options given are passion in, passion for, passion with, or passion of. And the correct usage is in fact the second option over here, which says passion for. His passion for gambling will ruin him. This is the correct usage of the preposition for. Anytime we say passion for something, we always say for. Passion for gambling, passion for anything else. So to go ahead and click option B and say next. Question number 3, it says Virginia Woolf's novels continue to receive rave dash. The options given are purviews, feedback, reviews, or previews. And the correct option over here is option 3, which says reviews. Virginia Woolf's novels continue to receive rave reviews. That means people who are criticizing her work or giving feedback on her work, they have very good things to say. And in this way, we always say they got great reviews. Their works, their novels or anything got very good reviews. So we are going to go ahead and click on option 3, option C that is, and we'll say next. Question number 4, he waited with dash breath for the door to open. And the options given are baited, B-A-I-T-E-D. Second one is baited, B-A-T-E-D, beaten, or bitten. So the correct option over here is the second option, option B, which says baited, B-A-T-E-D. When I say I wait with bated breath, means there is a thrill. I'm waiting for something to happen which is very thrilling or very suspenseful for me. I am really worried about something. So baited is the correct usage. We click option B and we move on next. Question number 5. It says, I must dash my deficiency in English. The options given are make out, make up, make after, or make beyond. And the correct option over here is in fact option B, which says make up. I must make up my deficiency in English, because makeup is makeup for something would be you are working towards something you are not very good at. So if your English is not very good, it's a deficiency in English, we say I must make up for that. So I click option B and I say next. Question number 6. Hardworking people always succeed dash whatever they do. The options given are over, on, with, or in, and we pick the right option. It's going to be option 4, which says in. Hardworking people always succeed in whatever they do. Anytime we have success for something, we always say success in something. So we have to click option D over here and say next. So question number 7 states, food was packed and they dash a merry delighted party. The options given are went off, start off, cut off, or set off. And the correct option over here is going to be the last option, which says set off. Option D. Because anytime you're going somewhere, we say they set off, like on a journey or anywhere else if they go, it's said to be they setting off. So we click on option B, we click next. Question number 8 says they have not had much time for social activities and I have not dash. So the options given are done so, either, also, or gone. So the correct option over here is the second option, option B, which says either. They have not had much time for social activities and I have not either. So we have two parts of the sentence over here. They have not had much time for social activities and I also have not much time for social activities, which means I have to link these two parts of the sentence with a word like either. Either this or that. So we click on option B and we say next again. So question number 9, it says it is dash University of Excellence. The options given are and, also, or one. And over here the correct option is going to be the first option, which says it is a University of Excellence. Now when I say the word university, it starts off with a vowel sound. University, ya is a sound, which is a vowel sound, which is why we have to use before the verb. Not before the verb, rather before the word. So we click on option A and we move on to the next question. Question number 10. It says we should first collect the funds and then dash action. So is it going to be plunge into, plunge onto, plunge at, or plunge in? So the correct option over here is going to be the first option, which says plunge into, plunge into. So we first collect the funds and then plunge into action, which means we are going into action right away without any delay. We'll be heading back into action. So I'm going to click option A and then say next. So coming to question number 11, it says cultural dash is very important in international business, and the options given are sensibility, sensitivity, sparkness, or susceptibility. And the correct option over here is the second option, which says sensitivity. Being sensitive about someone else's culture, being very mindful of someone else's culture is very important in international business. Of course, sensibility is something to do with your senses, but sensitivity is something to do outside of that. So we will go with option B, and I'm going to say next. Then we come to question 12, and it says the president will finally have a national memorial dash his honor. So the options given are at, upon, in, or on. And the correct option over here is going to be the last option. Beg your pardon, it's not the last option, it's the third option, which says in. The president will finally have a national memorial in his honor. We always say something in someone's honor. This is the correct use of the preposition. So we click in and we go to the next one. Question number 13, it says, when I visited him last evening, we talked the matter dash. So the options given are through, away, off, or over. So the correct option over here is going to be option D, which says, we talked the matter over. This is the correct usage of this word. We talk the matter over means we talk the matter, all aspects of the matter, through and through. So we will click option D and we move on to the next one by saying next. So we come to question number 14. It says, your opening paragraph should dash the reader's attention. So the options given are attest, address, attract, or affect. And the correct option over here is the third option, option C, which says attract. Your opening paragraph should attract the reader's attention, so that readers, they are drawn to your work. They will like to read more of your work because they like the opening line. They are attracted to the opening line. So we click option C. We say next. So question number 15, it says, I hope you know that once you have signed the contract, you will not be able to dash. The options given are back in, back out, back up, or back at. And the answer is option B, which says back out. I hope you know that once you have signed the contract, you will not be able to back out. Back out means you will not be able to do anything about it once you have signed it. You cannot move back from it. You have to pull it through to the end. So back out is the right option over here. And we go on next to question number 16. Mr. Sen is absent today. He dash sick. The options given are has to be, could have been, might be, or must have been. And the correct option over here is option C, which says might be. Is absent today, he might be sick. So there is a possibility that he might be sick. You cannot say he has to be sick because we don't know, we are not sure. Or could have been, even that shows only a possibility. But might be is the correct usage over here. So we click option C and we say next. So question number 17 says, a big dictionary dash the table near the door. So the options given are on, is over, is on, is up. So the correct option over here is the option C, which says is on. Whenever you have something on a table, we say on the table. So is on, and we are not going to say are because it's a singular noun. We have to say is on the table. So we click option C and we can move to the next question, which is question number 18. It says the king was moved with dash for the beggar. So options given are pity, piety, pithy, or privy. And the correct option over here is first option, which says pity. The king was moved with pity for the beggar. Means he felt bad for the beggar, had a lot of feelings because the beggar was in a bad state, felt a lot of pity for that. So we will click option A and we can move on to number 19, which says the life of a mosquito is dash but very active. So the options given are long, passive, brief, and important. And the correct option is the third option, option C, which says brief. The life of a mosquito is brief but very active. Whenever I use this word but over here, the conjunction but, it means should be something opposite of active, maybe brief. Brief is very short. So brief is the right answer, which means very short and very short but very active. So we click option C and we say next. Which brings us to question number 20, and it says the resort is dash the lake. So the options given are from, has, besides, and beside. So the correct option is option D, which says beside. Beside means something nearby, something near something. So the resort is near the lake. We will say the resort is beside the lake. So we click option D. We go next. So on to question number 21. It says this is the wrong dash to this question, and the options given are saying, style, reaction, or answer. And of course the answer is answer. The fourth option, option D, this is the wrong answer to this question. For a question, we always have answer, nothing else besides that. So we go and click option D, and we go on next till we come to question number 22, and it says the revolting players and the game's administrators held dash discussions to resolve the payment dispute, and the options given are unnecessary, obligatory, preliminary, or silent. And the correct option over here is option C, which says preliminary. Means something happening before something has already started, before something has started. So the revolting players and the game's administrators held preliminary discussions to resolve the player dispute is the right answer over here. We click option C and we go next to question number 23, and it says the boys were dashed to hear that we were going to build a bridge, and the options given are delights, delighted, or delighting. Now it's about verb forms, and over here we have to select the past form of the verb, which is delighted. It is option C. The boys were delighted to hear that we were going to build a bridge. It needs to be in the past form. So we click on option C, delighted, and we can move on. So coming to question number 24, it says the director congratulated Mr. Verma dash his success. The options given are on, for, at, or about, and the correct option over here is going to be the first option, option A, which says on his success. The director congratulated Mr. Verma on his success. The correct use of the preposition on. So we click option A and next again. Coming to question number 25, it says the clerk asked for my dash. Options given are determination, destiny, destination, or designation. And the correct option is option 4, which says designation. The clerk asked for my designation. Designation means what's your position in a particular organization or a company. What is the designation? A clerk is going to ask you for that, not your determination or destiny or your destination. Even though they might, but this is the most likely option, designation. We click on option D and we say next. So coming to question number 26, it says please do not dash an offer made by the chairman. So the options given are deny, refuse, refrain, or refuge. And the correct option is the second option, which says refuse, option B. Please do not refuse an offer made by the chairman. So an offer is being made to you, you refuse an offer or you accept an offer. So that is the correct word for this. We click option B and we say next. So we come to number 27. It says I like dash in the sun. The options given are laying, lay, lie, or lying. And the correct option over here is going to be option D, which says lying. I like lying in the sun. Lying is the continuous form of the verb lie. L-I-E. Lie means lie on someone's back, lie horizontally on a bed or something like that. And I like lying in the sun is the right answer for this. So we go ahead and click option D and we say next. Coming to number 28, it says Mount Everest has earned the dash distinction of being the world's highest garbage dump. And the options given are marked, disgusting, dubious, or dismal. The correct option over here is option C, which says dubious. Dubious means having doubts over something. So this is the correct option over here. Mount Everest has earned the dubious distinction of being the world's highest garbage dump. Even though some people have said that, we are not entirely sure of that. So Let's go ahead and click on the third option, option C, dubious, and then we can go to the next one, which is number 29. And this question asks, the management arm gave us permission to dash with the new curriculum, and the options given are go fixed, go about, go ahead, go around, and the correct option over here is option C, which says go ahead. The management gave us permission to go ahead with the new curriculum. Go ahead means given permission to take something forward. So go ahead is the right option, and we say option C and we click next. So we come to question number 30. It says due to heavy rains the match was called dash. So options given are off OF, off OFF, down and out, and the correct option over here is going to be the second option, which says OFF, off. Due to heavy rains the match was called off. So calling off means cancelling something which is not going to happen, which was scheduled to happen. So I go and click on option B and then say next. So we come to question number 31. It says the squadron leader ordered his men to dash immediately, and the options given are fall in, fall out, fall off, or fall on, and the correct option is option A, which says fall in. The squadron leader ordered his men to fall in immediately. What happens with groups of armies is when they are asked to fall in, they form lines. So this is what the squadron leader had ordered his men to do, to form up in straight lines. So we go with option A, it says fall in, and I'm going to click and say next. Number 32, it says he loves you dash than me. The options given are closer, nearer, higher, or more, and the correct option over here is going to be option D, which says more. He loves you more than me. We are using a comparative degree here. More. He loves you more than me. So we click and say option D, more, and we're going to move on to number 33. Number 33 says he is the dog dash, and the options given are off the town, for the town, about the town, or over the town, and the correct option over here is the first option, which says off the town. He is the dog of the town. This is a very common saying in English. It means he is the center of attention. Everyone is talking about him. He is the talk of the town. So we click on option A and then we say next. So question number 34, it says the man was dash his deafness. So the options given are rewarded for, cured of, convicted by, or saved at. And the correct option over here is going to be option B, which says cured of. The man was cured of his deafness. So for an illness or anything like that, you are cured of something. So we click option B, the right option, and we say next. Now coming to question number 35, it says each time he tried to climb the tree, he failed to do dash. The options given are thus, then, so, or this, and the correct option is the third option, which says he failed to do so. So means the thing which is repeated, climb a tree. He tried to climb the tree. So instead of saying but he failed to climb the tree again, we say he failed to do so. So we have to click on option C and then say next. Question number 36. Leaves dash in autumn, and the options given are fall down, fall off, O's F, fall off, the third option, the third option is fall on, and the fourth option is fall off with the OFF. And the correct option over here is going to be option D, which says fall off. Leaves fall off in autumn. Fall off means they are removed from the trees. They fall down from the trees. And simple way to say that is the leaves are falling off. So we click option D and we say next. Question number 37, it says he has no recommendations, he will dash get the job. And the options given are however, whatsoever, whereas, or whatever. And the correct option is option number 1, which says however, option A. He has no recommendations, he will get the job. Now this is however we use to speak about things which are not similar, dissimilar. So no recommendations, but still he will get the job. We say however he will get the job in spite of having no recommendations. So we go with option A. Click and say next. Number 38 says it is due to his lethargy that the plan fell. Options given are off, out, through, or away. And the correct option is the third option, which says the plan fell through, which means the plan cannot be completed due to his laziness or lethargy. If we say off, it means it didn't start at all. But over here, the plan, it didn't get through. It didn't fell through. When I say it didn't fell through, it didn't fall through, it means it wasn't completed. So we have to click on option C, then say next. Coming to number 39, it says his father was dash the same business. So the options given are managing over, engaged in, endowed with, or enlisted in. And the correct option is going to be option B, which says engaged in. His father was engaged in the same business. You are always engaged in some business. That is the right word to use in this sentence. And we click on option B and then we go next. So we come to question number 40. It says legislation was passed to punish brokers who dash their clients' funds. And the options given are devastate, devour, defalcate, or dawdle. And the correct option over here is going to be option C, which says defalcate. Defalcate means making improper use of someone's money or someone's funds. Improper use. So defalcate is the right word over here, and we click option C. Then we go next. So we come to question number 41. It says the criminal was dash lest he should escape. And the options given are fetid, fettered, fettled, or feted. And the correct option over here is going to be the second option, option B, which says fettered. Fettered means to bind someone, to tie down someone, to restrict his freedom, like chaining his feet or something like that. So fettered is the right word, it's the past tense of fetter. So we are going to go and click on option B and then say next. So we come to number 42. It says he walked along the road wondering what dash happened and where all the people had gone. The options given are had, has, have, or it. So the correct option over here is in fact the first option, which says had, option A. He walked along the road wondering what had happened and where all the people had gone. So we are always talking in the past tense. If we can see, we have used walked, past tense. We also say had gone. So it needs to agree to the same thing. You say what had happened. So option A it is. We click on it, had, and click and say next. So coming to question number 43. It says, she dashed him angrily because he made the floor dirty with his muddy shoes. And the options given are scold, scolds, scolded, scolding. And well, the correct option is the third option, option C, which says scolded. She scolded him angrily because he made the floor dirty with his muddy shoes. Now, we are using the past tense over here, made, which means I will also need to use a past tense of scold, which is scolded. And that is why we click option C, scolded. And then I can go on to the next question. So coming to question number 44, it says, I have decided dash my course of action. And the options given are upon, with, for, or of. And the correct option, it's a preposition. To choose, it's going to be option A, which says, I have decided upon my course of action. When we are talking of things we are deciding to do, we decide on or upon something, which is why we are going to click option A. I have decided upon my course of action, and then say next. So coming to question 45, it says, this school isn't dashed from the last one. And the options given are more different, any different, difference, or any difference. And the correct option is going to be option B, which says any different. This school isn't any different from the last one. We are already using a negative isn't over here. So isn't any different from the last one. Click option B. Then we are ready to go to the next question, which is question number 46. It reads, do not dash your own personal views upon the reader. And the options given are expose, interpose, express, and impose. And the correct option over here is going to be option B, which says impose. Do not impose your own personal views upon the reader. Impose means to put something, your views or opinions on any members of the audience or any other person, whatever, and trying to impose them, trying to impose the reader with what you believe in, putting your beliefs over others. So we are going to go with option D, which says impose, and click and say next. So coming to number 47, it says, the young woman broke dash on hearing the news of her husband's death. And the options given are up, down, off, or in. And the correct option is option B, which says broke down. The young woman broke down on hearing the news of her husband's death. Broke down means cry. When you're very sad over something and you break down, you cry. So we are going to click option B and say next. So coming to number 48, it says, I was conscious dash a break in my voice. The options given are to, off, over, and for. And the correct option is going to be option B, off. I was conscious of a break in my voice. The correct use of the preposition, you are always conscious of something. Never do something, never over something, never for something. It's always of something. So we click option B over here. And then I say next. So coming to number 49, it says, by a single mean act, he dashed out all his good deeds. The options given are wiped, whipped, worked, or whisked. And the correct option over here is going to be option A, which says wiped. By a single mean act, he wiped out all his good deeds. Wiped out means people are going to forget all about his good deeds. Wipe out from memory, erase it. So we will click option A and then say next to the next question. Next question, which is question number 50, and it says, Harish soon gained dash in English. And the options given are provincialism, proficiency, efficiency, eminency. And the correct word over here would be option B, which says proficiency. Harish soon gained proficiency in English. It means he became very good at it because of practice. That is, being proficient in something, being very good at something. So we will click option B, and then click and say next. So coming to question number 51, it says, he gives everyone dash the class opportunities for practice. And the options that are given are at, in, off, and on. All of them prepositions. It's a choice of prepositions we have to make. And the correct one over here is going to be the second option, option B, which says in. He gives everyone in the class opportunities for practice. Anytime we are speaking about an enclosed space like a class or an office, we say in the class. So we are going to go and click on in, option B, and we are going to move on. So coming to question number 52, it says the aim of a peace council is dash rather than cure. And the options given are salvation, preservation, maintenance, or cultivation. And the proper option is going to be option B, which says preservation. The aim of a peace council is preservation rather than cure, because none of the other words over here would really give the meaning what this is trying to say. Neither salvation, maintenance, or cultivation. Preservation is the only thing which would be related to this. So we are going to go and click on option B, which says preservation, and we're going to move on to question number 53. It says the bank decided to dash them the money as they were reliable clients. The options given are let, lend, borrow, or lease. And the correct option once again is option B, which says lend. The bank decided to lend them the money as they were reliable clients. Now when you give money to someone, it's called lending, and especially banks, when they provide someone the money, it's called lending, and none of the other things over here. So we are going to go and click on option B. So question number 54, it says she must sometimes dash to run away, and the options given are has wanted, have wanted, having want, or has want. And over here the correct option is going to be once again option B, which says have wanted. She must sometimes have wanted to run away. So this is an example of a present perfect tense, something that happened in the past but has a relation to the present. So click on option B and say next. So coming to question number 55, it reads, one of the reasons the Impressionists caused such a scandal was dash their colors were too bright. And the correct option over here is going to be option C, which says because their colors were too bright. This is the reason for what is happening over here. So the Impressionists, why did they cause such a scandal? It was because their colors were too bright. It's a cause and effect kind of relationship. So we're going to go and click on option C and say next. So question number 56, it reads, Leila said the new restaurant was nothing to write about. She thought it was, options given are just average, really terrible, splendid, or excellent. And the correct option is going to be option A, which says just average. When you say nothing to write about, it means it is nothing special. So it will not be something terrible, and of course it will not be splendid or excellent either. It will be just average, nothing to write about. So we will go and click on option A and say next. So coming to question number 57, it says look after your health dash you should repent later on. And the options given are as, because, till, or lest, and the correct option is in fact option D, which says lest. Look after your health, lest you should repent later on. Lest means in case you repent later on. So we click option D. Question number 58. It says, I waited dash the train arrived, and the options given are as, until, since, and after. And the correct option for us over here is option B, which says until. I waited until the train arrived. So we go and click option B, until, and move on to number 59. So question number 59, it says Rita promised to come but she never turned dash, and the options given are in, out, down, and up. And the correct option is going to be she never turned up. Rita promised to come but she never turned up. Turned up means she didn't come at all. She didn't arrive when she had promised to come. So we click on option D and we say next. So we come to question number 60. It says the maestro's son has no taste dash music, and the options given are about, with, in, and to. And the correct option is the third option, which says in. The maestro's son has no taste in music. Choose choice of the correct preposition over here, in. And so we click option C and save and say next, and we submit. So thank you.